our students succeed and get them to the next level, that's where it begins. And so for me, what brought me to this point in my life as a career of speaking, I never thought I would be a speaker. I was going to find a really good job, work it as hard as I can, but I was going to make sure that my baby brother and my baby sister had a good life because I wasn't going to have them. Because I grew up as a homeless kid. I first became homeless at the age of 14 with my 9-year-old sister and 2-year-old brother due to domestic violence. So the idea of college, the idea of a career was never there for me for the longest time. And the way that my life began was my first teachers were my parents. My mom and my dad, my mother being the most beautiful woman still to this day. And my dad was this man that I wanted to be just like because he was smart, he was strong. I mean, my dad could do anything. And so I wanted to be just like him. And anytime I had a chance to spend with my dad, my mentor, my hero, I would always jump at the chance. So fast forward to where I began the speaking career. I started my career here in California, in Los Angeles, South Central LA, when I decided to live homeless for the second time in my life. And I decided I would live homeless after graduating college, and I was going to live out of my car, and as a way to say thank you to everyone who had given to me, my teachers, my mentors, my adopted parents, all these people, I would just say thank you by living homeless for the second time in my life, living out of my car and driving from LA to Jacksonville, Florida, and I was going to speak for free at any high school, middle school, shelter, organization, any place that would open up their doors. Now, I wasn't a speaker, but I was going to just go and try to tell my story to as many people as possible, many kids as possible, to try and encourage them not to give up on life, their dreams, and understand that their life does get better, but education is so important to help them get that. So I remember my first school in South Central Los Angeles is Ocean High School, and I'm there and I'm trying to share my story. I only have about 15 students, and I'm telling my story the best that I can, and afterwards this young man comes up to me and goes, "Hey, sir." He goes, "Can I talk to you?" I'm like, "Yeah, did you enjoy my presentation?" He goes, "Nah, sir." He says, "Come here." And I'm in South Central LA, right? So I'm like, "Hey, bro, we're good, right?" Like, cool. He says, "Come here." So I follow him to the corner and I go, "What's going on?" He goes, "That story you told. Dude, is it true?" I said, "Yeah, man, it's true." He goes, "I'm asking you, sir. I'm asking you because your story is my story. Is it true?" I said, "Dude, it's true." He said, "Well, then I have one question for you." He said, "Well, what is it?" He goes, "How much money do you make off this?" And when I heard him ask that question, I knew what he was asking. He wasn't asking me how much money do you make off this. What he was really asking is, why are you here? Sir, why are you here? Are you here for me? Are you here because you're banking off of this? And I understood that concept because I remember the very first family who took me in. 14 years old, my mother doesn't want me, my dad doesn't want me, my grandparents don't want me, my aunt and uncles don't want me, nobody wants me. And this first family who takes me in, they tell me, Roy, we love you like a son. And at 14, I'm thinking, well, this is my family. Because I don't care who you are, what you look like, what your socioeconomic status is. All I care is that you love me. So I'm like, this is my family. They said they love me. But 2 weeks later, I had to pack my bag and keep moving to the next family. Now that same family, the next family said the same thing. Roy, we love you like a son. And I'm like, no, you don't. Because slowly those walls started to build. The next family, Roy, we love you like a son. But this family was different. Because it was right around the end of August, my birthday, and they said, "Roy, happy birthday." And I thought, how did they even know? Like they must love me because they even know my birthday. But 2 weeks later when their son had a birthday, man, he had a cake, and he had candles, and he had balloons, and he had presents, and he got to choose what restaurant we ate at. Now maybe I should have been appreciative that I had a roof over my head and I had food in my mouth, but I'm 14. I want to feel it. So the next family after that one, he says, "Roy, we love you like a son." I said, "Nah, you don't love me like a son. You need to stop saying that you love me like a son because you don't." These walls had gotten so high that nobody was going to get past them because I didn't want to be hurt like that again. So when we work with students, they constantly push back. They constantly don't let you in. Who reply or respond with a tone that you find disrespectful. It's not that. I don't want you to hurt me. Especially if I look up to you. And I believe in you, and I want you to care about me, but you know what? I need to make sure that you're real. Because if I let you in, you're going to destroy me if you let me down. And I know that is a lot of pressure but it is a reality for youth like me. So, and I saw that in the same young man, I said, hey man, you want to know the truth? I said, I tried to get sponsors for this journey that I'm doing because I'm calling it the Homeless by Choice School, because I'm homeless again. But this time it's my choice. And everyone has said no, so if you want to know the truth, I have $16 in my pocket, bro. I don't even know when I'm sleeping tonight. And he goes, for real, sir? I said, dude, for real. He goes, wow, sir. Wow, sir, that's awesome. That's awesome. And he leaned in, gave me a quick bro hug, grabbed his bag, and took off. And I stood there thinking, what happened? What just happened? In that moment when he realized why I was there, man, those walls came tumbling down. And that message, that lesson, was able to get through to him because he felt that I truly cared. And when I saw that, I said, you know what? I don't need any sponsors. How hard can this be? I've been homeless before. Not realizing that the first 3 months of this 6-month journey was going to cost me right under $20,000, and I didn't have $20,000. So I started to sell everything that I owned to get enough money to put in gas, to get to one more city, one more shelter, one more organization, one more school. And every school I got to, I started to hear stories from these kids afterward, telling me about their life, what they were going through. And I kept saying, I gotta do more, I gotta do more, I gotta do more. There's just so much, there's so many hurting kids, I have to do more. But I make it to Odessa, Texas. 3 months into this journey, and I run out of money. And I'm out of school, and I'm trying to figure out, I don't even know where I'm gonna sleep tonight. But usually I could get to a school, I could speak, and I could be like, and if there's any teachers who have a couch that will let me sleep, then I appreciate it, and I usually found a couch that way. But I get there, and this lady comes up to me, she's crying, I sit down, and I said, are you okay? She says, sir, I'm the director of the juvenile facility. Will you please come and speak with my young man? I said, miss, like, I've never been in a facility before, like, because they never taught me, like, that's a whole other situation. But you're not paying for that story. But, so I was like, you know what, I'll go. So I show up to this facility, and they put me in this room, and there's a door to my right, a door to my left, and all of a sudden they both open, and all these young men walk in, and they're in fatigues, and their drill sergeants are there, and I said, ma'am, I said, can I interact? She says, go ahead, bro. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? What's your name? Hey, what's up, bro? Where do you come from? And I started meeting all these young men. And this one young man stands out because he's funny, and he has all the respect of everyone around him. And at the end of the presentation, as he's leaving, the lady comes up to him, she's crying again. I said, ma'am, I said, are you okay? And she said, yes, boy, it's just that, well, you know that young man you just met? I said, if you don't mind me asking, like, why is he even in here? She goes, Roy, he's in here for murder. Freshman year of high school, his father picked him up and said, today, you're going to kill him, man. Because his father was involved in all the drug trafficking, gang violence in the city. His son took the gun, killed the man he was told to kill, got arrested, and in the state of Texas, they were trying him as an adult. And she said, Roy, within 2 months, we have to move him to an adult facility, but we don't give him longer than 2 weeks to live before that rival gang kills him. She says, Roy, he's dead. And that got me. Because I thought, why didn't anybody catch him? Why didn't anybody teach him that he had a future that belonged to him, not to his dad? And I'm not saying that nobody tried. All I'm saying is, man, if we would have just reached him. If we would have just reached them, but how many of those kids do we think if we would have just reached them? And I decided that day that I wasn't going to live out of my car and cross this country. That in order to do it right, and in order to make the impact that I was hoping to make, I had to live out of my car and I had to circle the entire country. But what that means is this: I would live out of my car for at least 2 years. It turned into 2.5 years. Crisscrossing this country, trying to get to as many young people as possible, and I set a goal to reach 100,000. It took me 2.5 years, and I did it because I remember what it was like. I remember growing up and knowing what that felt like. You know, with my parents, my dad as my hero, every time I had a chance and to go to work with him, he would say, yeah, you can come. And I would jump in that truck, we would drive to a site, he would set up the ladder because my dad's a roofer, and I would climb up on the ladder and I would pick up nails for him, and it didn't matter what we were doing, how hot it was in Texas, as long as I was with him, then that's all that mattered. And I remember being about 7 years old, being on that roof one time, and I'm playing on the roof, and I'm looking over the edge, and he's like, Roy. I'm like, yeah, Dad? He goes, remember that fishing trip I promised you? I'm like, yeah, Dad, I remember. He goes, well, tomorrow we're going to go, so when we get home, get your things together. So that night, I got everything I needed, put it in my bag, put it right underneath my bed, and that next morning when he woke me up, I grabbed that bag, we all jumped in this truck because my mom and sisters were going away to my aunt's house because this was a guy's trip. It was going to be amazing. My uncles were coming, my cousins were coming, my dogs are guys, my dog was coming. Like, it was going to be amazing. And so as he's packing the boat, I'm playing with my cousins, and he says, Roy, come here. Here's have a seat right here. And my dad, he had asked me to sit on the front porch of my aunt's house, and I remember sitting there at 7 years old and not thinking much of it when he comes up to me and he goes, hey, he goes, I need you to wait here while I go get some ice for the ice chest. And I was like, oh, okay. And as I sit there, I watch as he jumps in the truck. But then my uncles jump in the truck. My cousins jump in the truck. My dog jumps in the truck. And they drive off. And at 7 years old, you know a little bit about life. And I couldn't figure out in my mind, why couldn't I get in the truck if everyone else got in the truck? And as I'm sitting there, 30 minutes goes by. And 30 minutes for a 7-year-old, man, that's a long time. And 30 minutes later, my mom, who knows my dad and knows his patterns and knows his behavior and knows how big of a jerk he can be, opens that door and says, Roy, get inside. And whatever I was feeling here as that 7-year-old made its way all the way up here and manifested itself as tears. But I couldn't let her see that. So I kept my back to her and she says, Roy, get inside. Roy, you hear me, get inside. No, Mom. No, Mom, because he said he's coming, Mom. Mom, he said he's coming, and he told me to sit here and to wait, and then when he gets here, Mom, then we're going to go fishing, Mom. So can I just please stay here just a little bit longer, okay? I'm just going to stay here, Mom. Don't make me go inside. Well, 30 minutes turns into 2 hours. And 2 hours later, she forces me inside, but this 7-year-old has all this hope in his hero, and his mentor, and the man that he wants to be just like, that I sit on the couch closest to the window so I can stare out the window so I can wait till as soon as I see that big truck come, I'm going to run outside, I'm going to jump in this truck, and we're going to go fishing. Well, 2 hours turns into 2 days. And 2 days later, they all walk in the house and they're laughing. They're laughing about how much fun they had and how they purposely left me. And at that age, 7 years old, I learned lessons. I learned lessons that I didn't even realize that I was learning. And as I have traveled throughout this entire country, every state in the continental United States, I have looked in the eyes of young and old alike, and I have seen that many have learned the same lessons I learned when I was 7. Because when I was 7, I learned how to be angry, I learned how to hate, and I learned how to hold a grudge. Because I said, I don't need this man. I don't need my dad. Because I have my mom, and my mom's all that I need. So I started to focus my relationship with my mother, always hugging my mom and kissing my mom, and every time she would be watching her novellas or her soap operas in English, I would put my hand on her lap and be like, Mommy, just pull my hair like I have your faults, right? Because that's life if you don't know, because it feels good, right? And my mom would always be like, go play outside. Like, she would never give me the attention that I was craving. Not till I made it to middle school. Because middle school, everything changed. You know, middle school, it became about my buddies, it became about who I wanted to date, and my entire world changed. I remember one day sitting in the lunch with my friends, and we're laughing and we're talking. Well, my one friend's talking about his parents. And he's talking about his parents, and how they're always fighting, and how they might get divorced. And then he looked at me and says, hey, well, Roy, what's your family like? And I was always taught, whatever happens in the home, stays in the home. And it was never told to me in that fashion, but it was told to me like, well, what's the family going to say? Who cares what the family's going to say? But at that age, I was taught to be silent. So without breaking tradition or the lessons that I was taught at home, I said, hey man, well that sucks for you, bro, because my parents have been married for 20 years and we're happy. We're happy. But that wasn't the truth. You see, if I would have told the truth, well then I would talk about the nights I would wake up in my room because I could hear my mother screaming through the wall, and she would be screaming, Mijo, help me. Mijo, he's hurting me, help me. And to hear your mother scream, words that are supposed to mean my son, said with love and compassion, to be said with fear, pain. To hear those words, man, those are sounds that you can never take out of your head. But at that age, I was so scared of that man. I was so scared of him that I laid there the entire night and I would try to muffle the sound of her voice with my pillow. The next thing I knew is that I woke up. Because somewhere during that evening, I finally fell asleep. But when I woke up and I was expected to go to school, man, those were some of the longest days of my life because I didn't want to leave my bedroom and walk through that house to see what he did to her on the other side. So I would take as long as I could to get ready. And wait for the last moment that I had to walk out to go catch that bus. And I would just stare at the ground as I walked all the way outside the house. And when I finally made it into your classrooms, my mind wasn't on English, wasn't on science, wasn't on math. I sat there angry and scared because I thought, what if I don't have a mom when I come home? What if he does what he said that he was going to do? And if he does it, you don't get it. Because it's going to be my fault. Because she screamed for me and I laid there like a coward. I didn't even do anything. It's my fault. It's my fault that he did this. And it's going to be my fault if I don't have my mom. And I had to sit through the entire day just for that final bell to ring so I can go home to see if I have my mom still or if I don't. And you want me to dream. We need our kids to dream, but kids like me, we don't know how. But that's where you come in. See, you change everything. Because you could be the only stable, healthy relationship I could have in my life. And that's a game changer. But we need you to see past my reactions. I need you to see past my not having my homework. I need you to see past maybe my smell. Because when I was younger, I used to dream of who I was going to be, what I was going to be, where I was going to go in life. But without even knowing it, life came so hard that I started to give it all away. Because after 20 years of marriage, my mom says I can't. She says, I can't do this anymore. I want a divorce. And my dad says, I'm not going to give you a divorce. Because if I can't have him, no one's going to have him. So as a family, thank you so much. As a family, we had to go into hiding. And we started moving from home to home to home. And every single time that my dad found us, we would take the sheets off the bed, put it on the floor, put our clothes in the middle, pick it up, and we were gone. Constantly running every single time he found us. And the cops, yeah, they came to our house so many times for domestic violence that, man, my mom started dating a police officer. So if there's any single ladies in here, man, forget Match.com, just call 911, it works, right? So my mom, she's dating this cop, and we're living on the south side of San Antonio, Texas. And it had been like 6 months since my dad had found us, and it felt amazing. Because I finally got back into school, I was a freshman, and believe it or not, I actually started to make some friends. And I remember coming home on the bus, pulling into the apartment complex where we're hiding, and as I look out the window, I see my dad leaving the apartment complex. And I know what that means. He found us, and we're going to have to run. So I ran inside and said, Mom, he found us, Mom. Mom, he found us. I saw him. Like, I know it was him, Mom. I saw him. He found us. He knows that we're here. What are we going to do? And my mom's boyfriend was there. And he looked at my mom and he said, you are such a good woman. You are such a good woman that you shouldn't have to go through this. He goes, why don't you come live with me? And man, I thought this was a great idea because I'm like, man, this dude's a cop, my dad's violent, he called 911, the dude's there. Like, it's gonna work out. But he looked at my mom and he said, but I have one catch. Because I don't want kids. And there was 5 of us. My sister Amy was 16. My sister Tammy was 15. But this is my mom. This is the woman I loved, I trusted, I protected. Because every time that my dad found us, I started to fight him to give her enough time to run. So I knew what she was going to say. So when she looked at him and she said, okay. I was 14 years old. And I said, what do you mean, okay, Mom? Mom, what do you mean okay? Mom, Mom, we don't need him, Mom. Mom, it's always just been us. Mom, we don't need him. Mom, what do you, don't say, okay, like, what are we gonna do? I was 14 years old when I first became homeless in the streets of San Antonio, eventually with my 9-year-old sister and my 2-year-old brother. And you want me to dream? Do you know how hard it is to dream when you have your 2-year-old little brother in your hands and he is crying because he's hungry? And you're happy to say, baby Ray, just go to sleep. Just go to sleep, and I promise you that tomorrow I'm going to find you food, okay? But just go to sleep. Until finally, my grandmother says, well, Roy, I can take Danielle. But mijo, I can't take baby Ray or you when my grandmother had 2 spare bedrooms. She had 2. And as an adult, I asked myself, how in the world does a 16-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 2-year-old become homeless when you have 8 uncles and aunts? How does that happen? What did they think every holiday when we weren't sitting there? They had to know. How does a person get so involved in their own life that they can't stop and see the people around them? We have to be better people. We have to care about each other more. And I said, Grandma, just take Danielle. Just take Danielle and I'll figure it out. So she took my baby sister. And my best friend's aunt says, well, Roy, I can take your baby brother. But I'm so sorry, I don't have room for you. When I didn't even need a bed, I was willing to sleep on the floor, but her words, I don't have room for you. Man, those words have echoed in my mind ever since. I don't have room for you. Because I have seen her mentality all over this country. I don't have room for you. Because they love to give that thought different labels. Because in schools, they call it bullying. In some communities, they call it homophobia. Some people love to call that racism. But just because a person doesn't look like you, act like you, or talk like you, that doesn't mean we push them out. Please, make room for everyone. There should be room for everyone. And I remember saying, Miss Carmen, just take my baby brother. Just take baby Ray, because as long as he's safe, and as long as he's eating, I'll figure it out. But I remember walking baby Ray to Miss Carmen's house and being one of the hardest things that I ever had to do. Because I felt like I was leaving him the same way that my father left me. And I knew he knew something was going on. Because he gripped my hand as tight as he could with his 2-year-old little grip. And I said, Ray, mijo, I need you to stay here, okay? I need you to stay here, but I promise you that I'll come back and I'll get you. When I knew that I was not going to come back for a very long time. And as I walked out that door, baby Ray followed with his 2-year-old little eyes. And I went and I had a bag very similar to this one. Now, back in the day, my bag didn't have wheels, but today I'm a college graduate, so I upgraded. Look, it's really nice. And the last time that we had to leave that house, that room that we shared, my mother and my siblings and I looked at everything that was my own personal possessions, and I thought, what can I take with me that'll fit in that bag? Because from this moment on, that bag's my home. So I took with me clothes. But you learn quickly to take plastic bags from the grocery store. Because every time that your clothes smell and you can't wash them, if you put them inside the plastic bags and tie it up and put it back in your bag, it won't get your clean clothes dirty. I took with me a picture of my family because there's something about being young that we can be hurt, but man, we still love. And never lose that about who you are. Never allow your heart to turn so hard that you stop caring about other people and you stop caring about yourself. Never go there in life. I took with me a notepad and pen, and I was 14 years old when I wrote the 2 letters that I wanted them to read at my funeral, just in case I didn't make it. Because the truth is, some of the families who took me in, man, they were great for however long it lasted. But other families, man, some of the members in those families, they weren't so good. Because the truth is, some of them expected things from you because you lived with them. And that is never okay. It is never okay for anyone to put their hands on you. but it is a reality that kids like me face more than the average student. Because you're living with them, you owe them. For some of those people. And so the first letter went to my dad, and it went like this. It said, Dad. It said, wow, you hurt us, man. You hurt us really badly, but you know what, Dad? Man, I forgive you. And I just hope that you make better choices in your life. And the second letter went to my mom, and I'll be honest, I was angry. I was so mad at her. I thought, who does this? Who leaves your children? Now, maybe that wasn't fair, because for whatever reason, in our society and in my culture, we put more blame towards our mothers than we do our fathers, and that is not right. It's not just my mother's responsibility. My dad had a whole lot to do with it. But it's like if we never even expected him to be there. And that is an issue that we have in this country, absent fathers. But I didn't want to hurt her. So all I said to her, on 2 pages, front and back, was, I love you, 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 I love you. And I kept those letters in my bag, and I continued to move from home to home to home, whoever would take me in. And every time that I moved into a new person's house, I would pull out this imaginary bag, and I would look in there, and I would ask myself, well, man, well, who do they want me to be? Because if I can become whoever, or whatever they want me to be, that means that I have a place to sleep one more night. That means that I have food to eat just one more day. That means that if my little brother or my little sister want to see me, and this family would let them, and I got to see my little brother or sister. And I remember one family saying, yes, Roy, baby Ray can come, but he can only stay one night. I said, well, thank you. Like that was all that I was asking. Like if my baby brother could come for one night. So they were gonna pick up baby Ray, and they got off of work, and I remember being in that house, and I'm just waiting, and I'm staring out the window, and I'm waiting for that white van to pull in. And as soon as they pulled in, I opened that door. They opened up the sliding door to the van. He jumps out. He runs to me. I run to him, and we play all over their yard. I cooked him whatever he wanted that they had. Man, I didn't care. If I controlled the remote control, he could have it. He could watch whatever he wanted because I just wanted to be with him. And as we sat there watching the same cartoon DVD over and over and over, I glanced out the window and I saw the sun was going down. And I knew what that meant. That meant that my time with my baby brother was coming to an end. So as he fell asleep next to me, I picked him up and I took him to the bed and I laid him there and I stared at him. And I felt horrible because I didn't want him to grow up with these memories that his mother left him, that his father left him, that his brothers and sisters left him because he was too young to understand that we were homeless. Now maybe I didn't have control over that situation, but I've learned what we do have control over. And as I travel this country, I try to share with as many young people as possible because what we have control over is we have control over how we allow situations to affect us. Because in life, we get bitter or we get better. We have to be better people. There's enough anger and hatred in this world, and we don't need any more. We have to be better. So I wanted to give my baby brother a good memory. And so I woke him up and I said, Baby Ray, wake up. Mijo, wake up. And Baby Ray wakes up and I said, Mijo, do you want to eat ice cream? And he goes, yeah. So we snuck into the kitchen of the house where we were living. And I sit Baby Ray at the table, and Baby Ray could barely see over the table. And I showed him this big bowl of ice cream. He starts to eat his ice cream. And I took that moment to give my baby brother a good memory. And I looked at him. I said, Ray, you need to understand something. I said, Mijo, I love you. And I never wanted to leave you. But Ray, we're homeless. But I promise you that I'm going to come back and I'm going to get you. And you're going to go to middle school, you're going to go to high school, you're going to go to college, and all your dreams are going to come true. But Baby Ray was too young to understand a single word I said. Now, he didn't even look at me. He just sat there and he tore up his ice cream. And when he was done, he wanted more. I put him to bed, and the next morning when I woke up, I looked over, and he was already gone. Several days later, I was back on the street, and the first two thoughts that came to my mind was, man, well, where am I going to find a safe place to sleep tonight? And where am I going to find food to eat? But when you grow up with a tough life, you learn lessons that can never be taught in a book. But if you can use your education to define those lessons, there is no stopping you. Which is why you are so important for kids like me. You don't just teach math. You don't just teach science. You don't just teach social studies. You give us freedom. You give us hope. And so I remember being downtown, Dallas, Texas, the last family I was with. And I see this huge hotel, and I thought, man, that's a nice hotel. They gotta have food in there. So I go into this hotel, and I'm looking around, and sure enough, I found this line of women about to go into this room, and you can just smell the food coming from that room. So I hid my bag so that no one would notice, and I walked around, and as soon as they opened up the doors and the women filed in, I walked right in there with them. And I walked into this huge room filled with round tables covered in white linen and silverware and glasses. I remember sitting on the far back corner. And some lady came and she served me, and I thanked her, and I started to eat. When this lady came out to speak, I'll be honest, I didn't care what she had to say. I was there for the meal. But when she started to talk, when she started to share her story, the power of storytelling, of making that relationship, that connection. The next thing I knew, my fork was down, and I'm just listening to everything she has to say. Because she was talking about how she was raised in the third to the last three in Laredo, Texas, daughter of immigrants, and how she was told by her high school counselor that girls like her don't make it. Girls like her, they make babies. But her father taught her to ask, why not me? Why not me? And this woman grew to be the highest ranking Latina woman in the combat support for the United States Army and broke all kinds of records because she learned to ask, why not me? And as I sat there homeless, hungry, broken, man, I asked myself the same question. I said, why not me? Why can't I have my drinks? Because I used to drink. As soon as this lady finished speaking, I went and grabbed her card, and I made my way all the way back to San Antonio. I went straight to Miss Carmen's house, and I grabbed my baby brother. I said, I have a plan. I have someone that's going to take us in, and I did it. I had a plan. I approached, this is my truth to each their own. I approached these ministers I knew. And I said, Pastor Doris, I said, man, I said, my baby brother and I, we don't have a place to live, but I was thinking, like, if you let us live inside your church, like we will clean it like every Sunday, every Wednesday, it'll be ready for all your services. We just need a place to live, because my plan was he was going to go to school. And I was going to work as hard as I could, but he was going to have his dreams, even if I didn't have mine. But Pastor Doris changed it all. She says, you're not going to live here in this church. She says, you'll live with me. Under one condition, you have to go back to school, because I had dropped out. While those words sounded beautiful, I knew it wasn't for real yet, because she hadn't even asked her husband. That was before I realized that women run the household. That's a whole different story. I enrolled at Southwest High School as a third-year freshman, became a sophomore, and then a senior. And it was 3 months before what was to become the greatest day of my life at that moment. High school graduation, a day that I thought was never going to come. But life threw me a curveball, as it usually does. Because I ended up attending the same high school as my mother's boyfriend's son, the police officer's son, and we're attending the same high school, and we're both seniors. So 3 months before graduation, I called my real mama, and I said, hey mom, I said, how are you doing? She goes, hi man, she goes, how are you? I said, I'm doing good, mom. I said, listen, I want to tell you something. She goes, well, what is it? I said, well, like I know that Carlos is graduating this year, and I just want to let you know, mom, that I made it, mom. I made it, mom. Like I found out I'm going to graduate, mom. Can you believe it? She says, I know. After everything that you've been through, we've been through, you're going to make it. I said, thanks, mom. I said, but the reason I'm calling is because, like, I just want to say that when we graduate, you're my mom. And she says, what did you say? Well, I'm just saying that you're my mom. And she got really upset. She hung up the phone. So 3 months goes by, and my adopted parents is what I call them today. We're getting ready for graduation. I had the shoes there, a shine, the slacks, the coat, the tie. I mean, I was looking real delicious, right? And so, well, you gotta hate it, don't hate it. But I remember going to high school graduation. There's this covered curtain. You can see all the audience. I'm standing behind the curtain. My friend Emery Johnson's ahead of me. They call his name. He walks forward. He got his diploma, and I step forward. I didn't know this, but my favorite teacher, Miss Barrera, Spanish teacher, she was the one that would come check on me, because she was the one I opened up to and told my story. And so she would come and find me in the morning, and she's like, Roy, I made an extra taco. Mijo, do you want one? I'm like, yes, ma'am, I do. She was the one that would say, why don't you come have lunch in my classroom? Let's talk. And she would say, Roy, how are you doing? I'm like, man, I haven't heard from her in 2 weeks, man. What did I do that was so wrong? Why doesn't she love me? But I didn't know that Miss Barrera had requested that she be the one to call my name. So as I'm standing at that curtain, and I walk through, I look over and she's standing there with a huge smile, and she says, Roy Juarez Jr. And I walk over, and as I grab my diploma, I didn't realize it then, but I know it now. I wasn't grabbing a piece of paper. What I was grabbing was freedom. That's why we need to get this piece of paper into as many hands as possible, because it was going to change everything. After that day, all my educators, all my mentors kept saying, Roy, you need to be educated. Roy, you need to go to college. Roy, it's going to change everything. So I did it. I believed them. I enrolled. If we meet afterwards, don't shake this hand. It had like so many boogers. We're going to do a left hand shake, okay? Left hand shakes only today. Or we can bow. I'm down with that too. Where was I? So after, there's a bathroom. I'll wash my hands, I promise. After, I'm enrolling in college, and I'm in community college. I'm not doing so well. I'm about to get kicked out of academic probation when I run into the dean, and she says, Roy, are you going to come to our event tonight? I was like, nah, miss. Like, I'm not coming. She goes, Roy, we have food. I was like, miss, I was just joking. Like, I'm going to be there, miss. She says, good. She goes, I want to know if you would introduce our guest speaker. I'm like, yeah, miss, I'll do it for like extra credit. She's like, Roy. I was like, nah, miss, Roy. You see my grades, right? Help me out. Roy. Yeah, miss, I do it, but I'm going to get an extra plate. I go, who is it? She said, well, her name is retired Lieutenant Colonel Consuelo Castillo Kickbush, which was the same woman who at 7 years earlier was speaking at that hotel I snuck into. I said, I would love to introduce her. Nobody knew my story because I was taught to be silent. But that day, I broke tradition as I stood there in front of my friends, my colleagues, not colleagues, my friends, they're classmates, thank you. Classmates, my professors. And the speaker stood to my left, and I said, Miss, you don't know me, miss, but we met before. Like 7 years ago, I was like a homeless teenager, and like I snuck into this hotel to eat, miss. Like I stole a meal, like I mean, it wasn't even that good, like I'm sorry. But miss, like that day, with just your words, miss, you gave me a second chance at life. And then thinking, I'm in college now. 2 weeks later, I spoke at her book signing. 2 weeks later, I get hired in her company as an intern. It was supposed to be for 3 months. It lasted for 2 years. And at the end of the 2 years, she says, Roy, you need to go. I said, miss, you're going to fire me? She goes, Mijo, you can't work for me all your life. I'm like, why not, miss? Like, you pay me really well. She says, Roy, you need to go to college and you need to finish. Where do you want to go to school? I said, I don't know, miss. Where did you go to school? She said, I went to Hardin-Simmons University in Allen, Texas. I said, well, miss, that's where I want to go. I applied at Hardin-Simmons University. I got accepted. And in May of 2009, I went from eating ketchup packages in the streets of San Antonio as a homeless teenager to becoming a college graduate to today, still living my life as an activist as I crisscross this country. Because there are so many hurting kids. In 2010, there was an estimated 1.6 million homeless teenagers. I just read an article last night. In 2013, there was 2.5 million. How do we jump 9 million kids in 3 years? Now, those are the ones that are displaced or don't have a stable living. But what about the ones that have a house but don't have a home? They're homeless too. Our kids are dealing with so much. If the statistic of divorce is 50%, then 50% of the kids that we work with are dealing with trauma. 50% at minimum. There are so many hurting kids. This is why you are so important. You don't have to have it all together. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to look like me. All I need to know is that you care. That's it. That's all I need to know. Because once I know that you care, I can't lose you. Because if I lose you, who's going to care about me? So you can raise the bar as high as you want, and I'm going to meet it because I'm too scared to lose you. Now, give me the tools to get there, but raise the bar. Don't lower it because it's like, oh, this poor kid has been dealing with so much. No, you're not doing me any favors. Keep it high. I can meet it. Just help me get there. Today, though, I must share because I promised her that I would. My mother is an amazing woman. She was just broken. See, what many people don't know, I'm about to tell a story that I actually don't post this one. Anyway, what many people don't know is that my mother was